How's it going? Thanks, lads, for inviting me here today. Just from my own background, I'm not from a construction background. I do change management and I do transformation. That's my background. So I'm not entirely sure why I'm here. First thing. I work for an electrical engineering company. I know how to wire a plug and I know how to put in a bulb. So if you have anything else, contact someone else in Kirby's because I'm not going to be able to help you. My first introduction to, I suppose, construction in the lean, or I suppose, as an industry, was at a lean event when I was working for Dublin Airport. And I wandered mistakenly into lean construction, into this breakout room. And the presenter at the time he was from either very South Cork or very South Kerry. So his accent was quite severe. So for the first 10 minutes, I thought he was talking about bin technology. So I thought he were talking about recycling and what waste was going on. I hadn't figured out for 10 minutes till someone said BIM to me. I didn't know what it meant. So unfortunately, for the last 18 months, I've been figuring out what BIM technology is, which, I know you've been talking about it all day. For me, it's things that float around on a computer. But my background, as I said, is in transformation. And I suppose one of the things I'm going to talk to you about today, and leveraging what James was speaking there, is around this people process technology. And the big thing is for, I suppose, doing transformation, it's bringing your people with you. That's the key to this. And I suppose I'm going to do a little bit of an experiment for the people here. The people at home get away with this. I'm going to make you all stand up. Everybody up, please. Okay? And what I want you to do is I want you to go find someone in the room that you do not know, and I just want you to shake hands with them and get to say your name to each other. That's all I want you to do, and come back and sit down. Now, it has to be someone you don't know, okay? It's also my cheat to get you walking and get the blood flowing. Right, so for that, I'll get you to sit back down again now. Seem to have all made friends again. So the first thing I'll say to you, when I said that to you, to get up and shake someone's hand that you don't know, for possibly 1 second, you had a fear inside you. So what could have been the better thing I could have done? What I could have done, if I was in a leadership position in here, I could have said, I'll take two people that I know don't know each other, and before the event, I'll get them to email each other so that they know each other before they came. By engaging with our people before we start these things, before we actually just go and say, we're going doing it, we can make the experience better for them. So that's just an example from our perspective of what we can do to make things better. So as leaders, that's our role. Our role is to make things easier, take away the fear. So I suppose So the challenge at the moment is there's a myriad of technology. It's everywhere. It's on your phones. There's apps upon apps upon apps upon apps. And then when we go talk about, everyone hears the buzzword digital transformation, everyone has their own opinion. They have a difference. What does it mean? It's very confusing. There's a lot of terminology out there. So let's try and bring it back again to make that clarity for people, make it easier for people. So this is Kirby's digital transformation. So what we're trying to do is make it easy for people. What does each one of these mean? I hear loads of terms. What do they mean? It's about bringing the transformation to life. So anyone who goes and does a digital transformation course, the first thing that they teach you at a digital transformation course is, it's not called digital transformation. It's transformation in the digital age. So when you lose this idea for yourselves, when you're thinking about what does this all mean, you're changing how you do things, and you're just using digital technology to do it. So for Kirby, we said, right, there's different levels. The BIM team are way up in terms of their use of technology. Other departments are lower down. It depends generational. You have some departments who most of the team will be in their 50s. You have the BIM department who are in their 20s. And despite sitting beside each other, still use Teams messages to talk to each other instead of actually just going, how are you? It's just a generational thing. But we have to accept that it means different things to different people. So for us, we've got to explain, what are we doing? So for digitization, it's just about we're focusing on the people and the technology. Just focus on the people, what they're doing, and giving them technology to do their job. When you're doing digitalization, now you're bringing in the process. But you have to say in the digitization, well, you have to be looking at digitalization. Because if you put something into Excel, is it going to work in digitalization? So you have to be thinking about these as leaders. Digital transformation, and as I said, transformation in the digital age, is about your business. It's about changing how you do things. So we all probably, a big thing for Kirby, off-site manufacturing. It's a different way of doing things. We're used to being on site. For sustainability, it's about offcuts, waste. So we have, in our off-site manufacturing, we have lengths of containment cut to different measures. But we wouldn't get that sort of sustainability if they're all in different sites across the world. The last thing then is AI. It's where we're all going, and I'll come to that at the end. So why do it? We're talking today about sustainability. It's about bringing our people with us to be able to be sustainable. It's about meeting customers' expectations. It's about being efficient. And then it's about shaking hands with iRobot, if anyone watched the Will Smith movie. But here's the, why do this? Sure, we're doing great. In terms of as an industry, construction is behind. I've come from a different industry, okay? This is taken from The Economist about maybe 5 or 6 years ago. You have made giant leaps. COVID has made those giant leaps. But beforehand, you can see it's fallen behind. And why is 1995 so important? Windows 95, Internet Explorer. That's the demarcation point. That's why the construction industry is behind, because it didn't embrace those technologies. Back to what James said there, it is about people, process, technology, it's about success. But fundamentally, what does this mean in practice? So let's talk about our sustainability. So, we're going to spend 50% of our time with our people, 30% on the process, and 20% on the technology. Rule of thumb, okay? In the sustainability world, what we're trying to do is upskill our people. So we've taken our entire leadership team, project managers, whole lot, sent them off to the IMI for 6 days about sustainability. First, step one. What we're doing is we're giving them the knowledge. You're doing the same here today. You're getting the knowledge to be able to drive your sustainability forward. We're using data. Now, the data that you're trying to get, start somewhere. And the easiest way to start is with cost. How much does my recycling cost me a year? How much does my waste cost a year? Start somewhere. What you're doing then, you're allowing the process to look at your process and say, we want to fix this. This is where design and innovation come in. So you're using your people, process, technology, but you're actually focusing on real problems. You're redesigning them and you're getting your innovation. That comes out of it for the person on the ground. What do we want? So instead of looking at the technology, we're looking at what we want because we've designed it based off what we know. So how does Kirby help? Well, someone has to help them. They're not technologists. Me, some bit of a technologist. I understand technology. I can do a few bits of things. I can do a bit of coding. I can do a bit of Python. I can do Power BI. I have a certain set of skills. I have to listen to Kieran every day, giving out about Autodesk. This is my skill set. That was the guy who asked the question in the first thing. He asked me quite 100 questions a day, by the way. So what we have is a program sponsor. We need a leader. Someone needs to take ownership of this. Then we need to put in a management team for this. Do we need full-time resources? No. Just those people that are interested. And then someone like me. The digital delivery team then is wrapped around operations and support functions. The operations and support functions will implement it. If you try to get a third party in to do it, most of the time you'll fail. But you have to support them. You put your business analysts, your software engineers, your data analysts, your project managers and your support around them to let them do their job, but they drive it. That's how you embed. What technology are we using? I said we started. ERP, Business Central, costs. It tells us the cost of stuff. We have a product called Resource Crafter, which really helps as well. It tells us basically electricity, oil costs, petrol costs, etc. So it gives us the data. But we're somewhere to start. That's all you have to do here is start somewhere. We have a kind of a different approach then to how we're using Autodesk. So I suppose I come in and I've come from a different background where I came from Oracle, an Oracle background, and Oracle has the bells and whistles for everything. If you ask Oracle to do something, they can do something. I'm trying to mirror that with Autodesk because think about the people. We do use multiple apps, but what we want is one central point we can always go to. So Autodesk Construction Cloud is what we're going to use. And we plague Sean every day of the week to tell us, how can we do this? How can we do that? And then Cormac has to call down every 2 weeks just to say hello to us, to make sure we're all happy. One other thing that really kind of has helped us along the way is open space. So we trialed this in Sweden. So we had a lot of people go to Sweden, problem Sweden, all out, lads, onto a plane, all out, off we go. Don't have to go now. BIM model, picture. It's Google Maps for your site. BIM model sits beside it. That doesn't look like right, lads. Guy sitting in Limerick can go, raise an issue, off to the guy in site. The idea here is we're trying to eliminate and be sustainable through our products. Again, back to leveraging our data. This falls into the AI piece. You need to be thinking about how your data is structured. James went through exactly how things are. We're doing something similar. Design differently. Everyone will have their own way of doing it. Get good partners. That's what you need. You need good partners who understand data architecture. We're using Azure Data Lakes because we're a Microsoft house, Power BI. Ultimately, what we're trying to do, data, information, knowledge equals wisdom. Fundamentally what we're trying to do. So where is this all going, Frank? What are you trying to do? It's bog standard, isn't it? Well, meet Kai. We love an acronym with Kirby. So this guy, or girl, or we haven't decided yet, they, Kirby Artificial Intelligence. It is only a step into, we've dipped our toe into this. So ChatGPT on the 30th of November, like I talked about 1995 as being, well actually 1996 if you go to Internet Explorer, but there are seminal moments in technology. On the 30th of November 2022, ChatGPT was launched. It will fundamentally change how you do your work. And you have to get on board. If you're not looking at it, start. There's a statistic, I think, out yesterday that said only 14% of the entire adult population had ever used it. It is going to take over how you do things. It is going to do schedules. It is going to do tenders. It is going to do things that will eradicate jobs, but you need to just look at how you do your business. What we've started to use it for is very simple, knowledge base. Ask it a question. How do I do this? Where do I get that? Who do I talk to about this? We have to feed it in the information, though. That's the hard part. So there is huge heavy lifting in this. In terms of sustainability, it'll be the question for our leadership is, well, how much have we done this year to improve our sustainability? How much? What can I do to be more sustainable? Back to our people again. What should I be doing to be more sustainable? Because we'll have our policy written. And what ChatGPT does is it gives you the ability to help your people quickly. So you can all get frightened and say, oh, we must be looking at it. Just start to upskill yourself on it. Just, if you haven't done already, don't panic, but just start looking at it. It's a free version out there. You can start to use it. There's this thing called prompt engineering, which is prompt engineering is what you tell it. The more detail you give it, the better the answer. So again, when we start to look at this, start to think about all those things that you do on a daily basis that your AI can do. So look, I suppose in kind of summary, we're still about our people, but we're trying to help our people with Kai. He's another person that's going to help us. Thanks. If you have any questions.
Sure.